Long before the rise of great empires and mighty kings, the hills of ancient Israel echoed with fear. An enemy army had gathered across the valley, their tents stretching like a sea of shadows beneath the burning sun. Among them stood a giant unlike anything the world had seen, a warrior named Goliath, a towering figure of iron and arrogance. Each morning he stepped forward, his armor gleaming like polished fire, and his voice thundered across the valley as he mocked Israel and challenged any man brave enough to face him. But no one moved. Even the bravest soldiers felt their courage crumble at the sight of his colossal frame and the sound of his booming laughter. While armies trembled, a young shepherd boy named David tended his flock miles away. He was not a warrior, nor was he trained for battle. He carried no sword, owned no armor, and had never marched with soldiers. Yet he possessed something far greater, an unshakable faith and a heart stronger than fear itself. When he arrived at the battlefield to bring food to his brothers, he heard Goliath's insults ring out across the valley, and something ignited within him. Where others saw an unstoppable monster, David saw a threat to his people, a challenge to his God, and an opportunity to prove that courage is not measured in size, but in spirit. He volunteered to face the giant, shocking the entire camp. Soldiers begged him to reconsider, and even the king questioned his sanity. But David's voice did not waver. He had once fought off lions and bears to protect his sheep, and he believed with every beat of his heart that the same God who saved him then would deliver him now. Clad in nothing but his simple tunic, carrying only a shepherd's sling and 5 smooth stones from a nearby brook, David stepped into the valley where Goliath waited. The giant laughed when he saw him. To Goliath, David was nothing more than a child, small, unarmored, and unthreatening. He mocked him openly, cursing him and promising to crush him like an insect. But David stood firm. His eyes did not flinch, and his voice carried steady and strong across the air. He declared that victory does not belong to swords or spears, but to the God who fights for his people. With that, the battle began. Goliath charged forward, each step shaking the ground beneath him. But David moved with the speed of a shepherd running across open fields. He reached into his pouch, pulled out a single stone, and placed it in his sling. The world seemed to freeze as he swung it through the air, his movements smooth, practiced, and filled with purpose. When he released the stone, it shot forward with breathtaking precision, cutting through the air like lightning. The stone struck Goliath square in the forehead, and for the first time, the giant's confidence shattered. He stumbled, his massive body swayed. Then, with a thunderous crash that echoed across the valley, the mighty warrior fell face down into the dust. The ground trembled as silence swept over both armies. In a single moment, the boy no one believed in defeated the champion everyone feared. David walked forward, standing over the fallen giant as the world watched in disbelief. Israel's soldiers erupted into cheers, while the enemy turned and fled, their courage broken. David had not won because he was strong. He had not won because he possessed superior weapons. He had won because he dared to believe when everyone else doubted, because he stepped forward when others stepped back, and because his faith was more powerful than the threat that stood before him. His victory became a symbol for all generations, a reminder that no matter how overwhelming the challenge, no matter how impossible the odds, every giant can fall when faced with courage, conviction, and unwavering trust. The story of David and Goliath is not just a tale of ancient warfare. It is a timeless message for every person facing their own giants in life. Whether those giants appear as fear, uncertainty, obstacles, or enemies, the lesson remains. Greatness is not found in physical strength, but in the bravery to stand up when it matters most. David's triumph echoes across centuries, inspiring millions to rise, to believe, and to fight the battles they never thought they could win. Even today, the valley where David faced Goliath serves as a reminder of what faith can achieve. It teaches that one brave heart can change the fate of nations, and that true strength comes not from the armor we wear, but from the convictions we carry within. The shepherd who became a hero would later become a king, but his greatest victory was the moment he proved that giants fall not by force, but by faith.